Oh, hey, it's Wednesday and we're doing design sips. I'm Sandra from House of Funk, and won't you drink with me? Cheers. Cheers. Kicking it off.
Mm-hmm. Ooh, this one's bubbly. Nice.
Tastes so good at first sip of the afternoon.
Well, we have an earlier time than usual, but
Yes.
you guys have been working hard at your client meeting, and
It's true. We had a wonderful presentation with some of my favorite clients of all time today. So thank you. And we had to move this thing up in the day because I got to go to the Billie Eilish concert tonight with my 9 and 12-year-old. That's right. I'm gonna be, I don't know, the old lady in the room. We're going with it. So I will keep you guys posted on all of the Billie Eilish latest. I'm waiting to see if, like, is she creepy on stage too? I don't know. We'll find out.
yeah, you'll have to fill us in.
Exactly.
So before we dive into today's topic,
Which is so exciting, by the way. Okay.
let's do a little housekeeping. So we have some exciting press news, right?
Yes. So we're so excited. If you have not been on our Instagram or Facebook, check it out. We were in House Beautiful for our online design project with the amazing couple, our Hamilton stars, Donald Weber and Rebecca Covington. And Google them because they are the true rock stars in this. Not only are they amazing, incredible Broadway stars, they are touring with Hamilton now, and they executed their own interior design with our online program. Mind blown all the way around. So thank you, both of you, for being amazing. Such an amazing project to work on. It was all about the love, and it was all about the feels, and they are delightful. So please check that out. Such good stuff.
Totally.
Yeah.
Some other exciting things. We were recently on Wingnut Social's podcast talking
Yes.
about lead magnets.
My girls, Nat, and the Soulless Ginger. Darla, sorry, wrong way. Darla and my Soulless Ginger, Nat. We had such a good chat, and they're just incredible. They're all about getting visibility for interior designers, but I really think that the conversations that they have on their podcast work for any creative entrepreneur looking for more visibility. So check out Wingnut Social if you have not already, and see what we're up to.
Yeah, and you can head to our stories for the link.
Okay,
So,
awesome.
there. Now, let's really quickly recap our last Design Standards VIP call and tell them about the upcoming one on July 24th.
Yes, so we have had so many emails, DMs, side conversations in parking lots after events with designers who just need a little bit more. So if that's you and you have a specific design question that you want to talk through, outside of our design tips, outside of our newsletter, outside of all of what our speaking engagements, all of what we're doing for the design community, you can join us on our VIP call. And that's all about when you register for the call and pay, you get to enter your specific question. You're guaranteed to have that question answered in detail, as well as if there's time on the call, we'll be taking follow-ups or additional questions as well. So we had one in June, we're having another one in July, and again, it's a way for me to address all those follow-up questions that we get so often, to kind of lump it together and provide those answers for you. Also, while running my design firm and staying busy with all the things that occur here at the same time. So batching and being efficient, that's how I'm gonna roll.
Yep. Cheers to that.
Cheers to that.
Cheers. All right.
Cheers.
Efficient, organized.
How we do. And drinking at work.
Yeah.
Just saying.
And you just said something before we started filming, Sandra, that admin was sexy and expediting
Is necessary. That's right, people. If you've been watching us for any length of time, you know that I think administration is sexy, and it's confusing sometimes, but it's so true. Go back to the YouTube page and watch the video if you missed it, because it's amazing. So if admin is sexy, expediting is absolutely necessary.
Okay, so let's dial it back a second. What is expediting? I mean, for some of these newbies,
True.
myself included.
Fancy word for following up on your open orders, right? So to me, expediting is all about confirming that the order got placed and finding out, making sure it's still progressing along just like it's supposed to, all the way through getting it to your warehouse. Sometimes you have to pay the shipper separate, you have to figure out the trucking company. It's just a lot of work. And then when it gets to the warehouse, it is inspected and gets all the way through to delivery day at the home. So it's a very lengthy process, and it's a process that can be riddled with hiccups. Seriously. So we have, of course, created a template and a procedure to ensure that it goes as smoothly as possible. And we prepare for and anticipate the hiccups, and we have systems in place to handle them.
Yeah, absolutely. And Sarah Harris is also a goddess of expediting, so feel free to chime in with any thoughts on the subject. So one question we have is there software you prefer for placing orders?
Yes, so I love Studio Webware. I've been using it for 100 years now. I'm an early adopter. I used to have the desktop version before it was Studio Webware. It just helps me stay organized. It's got the numbers all right in front of me. For us, we do our original proposal super detailed so that when it's time to place the order, there's no further work that needs to be done. All the stuff is in there and it follows all the way through. Within Studio Webware, you can also track all of your expediting. You can run reports to see that what was acknowledged and what wasn't yet, when things are due in. There's notes in there that you can track, who you spoke to, why it's delayed, what's going on. Like, it's a really great place to keep all of that information contained. In addition, of course, we basically live, breathe, work Asana. And Asana also has a lot of templates in there for triggering those follow-ups and triggering all the details that go into expediting. So what kicks off in Asana really comes to fruition in Studio Webware for us.
Yeah, I know. How do you keep track of your orders? Like, how do you keep everything organized?
This is like a pop quiz. Sarah Harris? Come, tell us.
We do it via Studio Webware.
Yeah,
That's
she
the
wasn't
best way.
listening at all. That's what I just said.
I know. I was like, well, that is how we do it. And
No,
I was
it
like,
is.
That's the best software.
It is.
Yeah.
So we've tried a lot of the software. We love. My Doma Studio, amazing, incredible, and like the interface with the clients and all the different products you can offer are so incredible. But again, we stuck with Studio Webware. Design Manager I've used way back when I worked for someone else. Another great option. But again, Studio Webware is really something that we know it so well, and we know how to use it and how to get in there. The more that you dig in on it and the deeper you go, getting into the codes tab and really filling out the date you requested the quote, the date you requested the CFA, the date you received and approved the CFA, the date that the order was acknowledged, the acknowledgement number, the UPS tracking number. Like, there's a place to put all of that, and you can easily run reports and see if anything's missing. So a lot of times when we run reports, we're looking for a zero in a budget, we're looking for a missing acknowledgement number, we're looking, right? We're looking for, did every single thing that got invoiced get purchase order? Did every single thing, we have all these systems and these reports and these ways to check, double check, and not have anything fall through the cracks, because our business is a minutia business, right? We all know the old story, what goes into a sofa. It's the sofa, it's all the decisions around the fill, it's the discussions about the construction, it's the fabric, it's the pillow fill, it's then the pillow cover, it's the trim, it's the sizing, it's the details. So, and the more detailed you get in your orders and all those layers, the more custom your product is, the more happier your client is. And also, we all know that the riches are in the niches, but the riches are also in the customization, right? Because it's not shoppable. When you get it really detailed and you get it really perfected to your client, it's harder to go out there and just find another blue sofa that looks like a square track arm solid blue sofa. That's easy to find another one for the same price. Okay? Yeah? Whew. I should leave now. We're done. And I'm not to say that we're just like driving up the customization for the hell of it. Like, it all comes from it's all driven by the clients and the lifestyle and what they're looking for.
No, totally.
And Studio, it's not as visual as you can't color code things and you can't get all like cuckoo crazy, but I've tried doing it in Google Sheets and Asana as a backup, and every time it's just like you
roll back.
Yeah.
So
Roll back.
he thought I was process obsessed. Sarah Ann Harris is also, she's like, could I work it better somehow other? And this is probably, by the way, like a Saturday afternoon project for her.
Yeah. While she's crafting with her other hands.
Stirring something healthy and delicious. That's why we love her.
But a good lesson to simplify.
Yes.
For me, it was just use Studio or use one system. Don't go all crazy.
Correct. And it's so funny because we really do try to keep it simple, right? But this is one of those things where you do need the UPS tracking number and the date that you got this and who you spoke to and the reasons behind it. And, you really do have to capture all that data, and it organizes it so well. And then obviously the whole thing, you can enter all the data you want, but you need to be able to run the report and see it all come to fruition.
Yeah.
We got a good question from Mazza Collective.
Oh, hello, Mazza
Should
Collective.
everything with my orders be kept online, or should I use hard copies? What works best for you?
Smart. Okay, so when we have a vendor who has an online ability to place an order, we will do that, okay? We have so much more control over the order getting placed properly when we put all the information in, and we can triple check it, and we can hit send, and we can immediately get an email confirmation. Love that. Vendors, we love that. There are times when that's not possible, of course. When something is super duper custom, it's not gonna have a price, point, it's gonna need a quote. But yeah, I think placing orders online is wonderful if the system allows you to get detailed like that, and then working with your sales reps. Our sales reps are gold. We love our vendors. It's all about building relationships and deepening them and making sure that you have a great customer service relationship back and forth, both on getting quotes quickly and on getting responses when something goes wrong. Really, really important to not spread the net so wide that no one knows who you are when you call, right? You've heard me say this many times. Get to know your vendors, work that system, deepen those relationships, and then you will have their back by placing a ton of orders, and they will have your back by being super responsive when those hiccups occur.
And one thing you kind of touched on a few minutes ago when you were talking about receivers. So what should I be looking for in a receiver, and how does a good receiver tie in with expediting?
Receivers are everything when it comes to this business. I cannot express to you how important. Thank you, Amador and team from ADM. We have been with you for many years, and we will be with you for many more. Same thing. They catch the issues. They catch the damage. They catch the errors. They keep in very close contact with us to say, yes, we know it left the warehouse and was on a truck to you. Yes, we got it. They were in such good communication with us. You need to cultivate a relationship just like that wherever you are located. There's a lot of great receivers out there. Check with your Facebook groups, your network of designers, get a recommendation. It's crazy, crazy important. I would not recommend shopping this on price. It's more about quality. This is really important. They must open and inspect each item as it comes in. They must communicate with you like crazy. They must deliver in a white glove manner. What that means is people that can look you in the eye, people that show great respect for your clients' homes, are willing to put on the booties, are willing to take off the shoes, are willing to, honestly, ADM, one time, you guys, we couldn't fit the sofa into the third floor attic room where it was supposed to go up the main stairwell. I have video, I'm gonna post it, I'm gonna find it. Finding it might be hard, but I have video of your guys walking it across the roof after literally handing a sofa up to two guys on the roof and walking it across the roof and walking it into a window. This really happened, and I have proof I will find. Probably not a good idea to show anyone or your insurance carrier. Just saying. To just get the job done, it's so important. And it's so important that they are top-notch quality. So like, if your firm is mid-tier, your receiver needs to be at least mid-tier. If your firm is super luxury, your receiver needs to be super luxury. Like, you need to scale it to your business and your quality level, and then you need to build it into your price to your clients, okay? So every single time that we do a proposal for a client, the shipping, the freight, the receiving, the insurance around my insurance and the receiver's insurance, and that final white glove in-home delivery is all included in the freight cost. So freight costs are expensive. So do your due diligence, track it. I hate to give my clients a bill at the end of a project, so I build it in on the front end. Takes a little time, takes a little data analysis, takes a little figuring to know what that right percentage is for you, but it is worth its weight in gold. I literally installed a project recently for a client and they go, wait, no invoice? And I said, no, we'd like to leave you with these beautiful fresh flowers in this gorgeous room installed. And it really changes the dynamic.
Yes.
Let's drink.
Yes, let's drink to that. Hello to Joseph Hacker for joining.
Hi, Joseph.
We have another good question. Sort of related. When an item comes in broken really close to install, how do you proceed? Do you install without it or postpone the installation and deliver it late?
Okay, so we are trying to gather up all of our beautiful wares as we go through the process. Inevitably, things get broken. They're these beautiful, delicate, amazing products shipped all around the world, right? Usually from North Carolina to New Jersey. Seems like it wouldn't be so hard, but you know, there's potholes. So things come in cracked, damaged, broken all the time. It's really, I mean, I've heard it 30% to 50% damage claims. It's crazy. So you have to be prepared for it. What we try to do, we try to front load our orders and place our orders as quickly as we get them so that we can get them into the warehouse and get them inspected and get it handled as much as possible. We refuse an item that's damaged right when it gets to the receiver instead of waiting for it to get to the client, and get it replaced without the client even knowing. It's not even a hiccup in the system on their end. It's a lot of us, you know, the duck's feet moving really fast while it looks calm above. But the earlier we can, the better. Then, listen, at the end of the day, if it gets damaged or some little detail missed inspection or something comes in at the last minute to install, we will try to install the room to 90% and we'll let a few things lag if they just do. If they get damaged in the way in the front door or, again, our quality control in the light of day, fully unpacked in the room, you know, maybe the color's tiny bit off, something. We will have a punch list then, and they'll become a punch list item. But we do try in the earlier stages to wait for about 90% completion before we install. When we can, 100%, of course. Yeah. I mean, we're dreaming of that all going smoothly and perfect. But the truth is, I would say 10% on day of install is a little bit wonky, and 30% that the client never even sees because we handle it at the receiver level.
How do you communicate long lead times to clients?
Carefully and with wine. Cheers to that. Listen, we know how long these things take, and that is why we try to make decisions very early in a project and get our orders placed as quickly as possible so that while we're scheduling the painter, while we're scheduling the window treatment people, while we're scheduling the floor refinish or the gut renovation of a space, we're allowing all those items to come in. We ask for a lot from our clients. We ask for decisiveness. We ask for orders paid in full up front at the front of the project so that we can install in a timely manner. Usually, if that all goes as planned, we have a warehouse full of product way before we need it because the site's not done yet. Our goal is always, before we will gut renovate anything, we want everything that's going into that space in a warehouse because we don't want to be the delay on a project ever. I never, ever, ever want to hear the words from a contractor or a client, we're waiting on the designer's tub, tile, light fixture, none of it. No bueno. There's plenty of time. If you're going to schedule a good contractor, they're going to take time, right? The good contractors aren't available today. They're available in a couple of months. Take those couple of months to get every single order placed, inspected, and warehoused and ready to go. Doesn't mean you're not going to have that 10% of problems, but you're going to mitigate the 20% by getting it into the warehouse and getting it inspected ahead of time. Mm-hmm. It's so important.
Yeah, really important.
Yep.
How often do you guys expedite?
Sarah Harris.
Every 2 weeks. I mean, I wait at least a month and a half while I know the orders are processing, and as soon as I place the order, I'm waiting. After all the order acknowledgements have come.
Yes.
I wait like a month and a half because I'm like, I'm just going to be following up on nothing. And then once that time hits, I'm following up every 2 weeks.
Okay, so do you hear that? Place the order. Hound them for an order acknowledgement. You need confirmation in writing that the order has been received and has been placed, okay? Then take a chill pill. About 6 weeks until you start bothering them again. Now, if you know it's a 14-week item, you might wait longer, but you just put that trigger into Asana to remind you to swing back there, okay? And then you track all that data in Studio Webware. In our case, you use your stuff to do what you do.
Yeah.
Sticky notes, straight up memory, these are bad plans. Get a system and get it so that it's on a rotation basis. So you do all your expediting, you hit complete, 2 weeks later, this pops back up again and reminds you to do it again. It's important to see it through. And unfortunately but true, if you run a business and you have more than one client, you know the squeaky wheel gets the grease. You just handle the one that's squeaking to get them back under control and happy, and then you circle back to the patient, calm, loving client. Just kidding. But you do, the squeaky wheel gets the grease, so we squeak. There's no other way to do it. You have to let them know, hey, I'm alive, and I want to make sure that product is in my warehouse, received, inspected, and ready to roll.
Yeah.
It's important.
Yes.
Yes.
Amen, sister.
And because 30% have problems, you not only need, and maybe, sometimes, but we're not doing this, we don't need it for a long time, but you need almost double the time that this product takes to manufacture it, because if 30% have to be remade, redone, touched up, fixed, you need time. Like, let it also, with your receivers, make sure that they are okay with your stuff sitting in their warehouse for a couple of months or a couple of weeks, so that you aren't getting, or that's built into the price, or you're not getting dinged for it, because you want it all nailed down and waiting on the project site ready to receive. You don't want to be skinny your teeth it, like, that's not a word. But anyway, you know what I'm saying, like, don't run it too close. And don't wait to place orders, because we're not going to need it for a long time. Get it in, get it done. If you've taken the client's money, you owe them morally to place their orders as soon as you can.
A question about any tips for non-communicative vendors, my number one pet peeve.
Yeah, fire them. Ow! I'm sorry, but we had a vendor whose nickname was Seldom Seen. Now we seldom use them. Okay? Don't do it. Just find another one. Somebody else wants your business. Find someone who's as hungry and as focused as you are.
Love that. Cheers.
I just got like an air cheers. Thank you.
Do you outsource your project management for this kind of stuff?
Mm-mm.
Do you recommend that other designers, what are your thoughts on the subject?
I don't. And here's my take on it. I like humans, and I don't like working alone. I really like the team environment. So for me, having a human being in-house, or human beings in-house, who handle this aspect of the business is the right move. If you are a one-woman show or a sole proprietor and you really prefer to work alone, then this would be a great place to outsource. My take on it is, I also think that there's so much detail to the expediting and the following up. The idea of handing off placing orders to me is a little convoluted, because I think by the time you clarified and got super detailed and really clear about every single really important detail about that project, and triple checked everything and triple checked everything and triple checked everything, you may as well place the order yourself, right? And you're adding a layer of potential mistake as well. So for me, it's an in-house process. We keep it really close because it's really costly when the error is made on our front, right? If we transpose a number or write something down wrong, it's an expensive mistake, and it's ours to eat, right? And of course, a third-party order placing service, you'd have to really be in a strong contract that says if they make that mistake, it's theirs to eat, and you'd need to make sure that was in writing.
Yeah.
But again, even if that's theirs to eat and they have to reorder the sofa properly, you're still waiting that lead time all over again. So there's still a cost to your business, even if they are taking care of the financial side of it. That's my thoughts.
Yeah. And one point that I had in here that I think is really smart is that you guys said that, so we organize our email folders by client, and every time you guys place an order, you add it to that client's room folder.
Oh, yes.
So you want to talk a little bit about that?
Yes, so we're just like organized a lot in a lot of ways. But basically, when I am reviewing proposals to go to a client, I have the imagery around the product, I have the fabric, the finishes around the product, I have the proposal, the language that the client will see, and the pricing that the client will see, including freight and tax. And that freight is not inbound only, that is the full gig, all the way to white glove delivery placed in the right location in their home. And then I have the quote in writing from whoever is providing this service, good, whatever. That packet is really important for me. I'm still a tactile person. I wish I could say everything's online and I don't believe in paper, but I'm not. I'm a tactile person and I like to see it and feel it. I want to see the plan. I want to see the piece in 1/4 inch scale in the room so that I can look at it and go, yeah, 57 by 30. Yep, okay, good, 57 by 30. I've got the fabrics, I got the things. Like, it's really important to have all of that together. What was the question?
It was about filing emails.
You're talking about our order packets, which are
Yes.
Our order packets.
We were just talking about filing client emails and like the process behind that. And
seriously, how did that turn into? I don't know. I don't even know.
we're digital, but and then she's like, nah, we're paper.
I like paper.
We do both.
We do both. I do. Okay, so tangent. Tangent is an understatement. Okay, so basically, yeah, file it in the client file. But also, there's a paper trail that's also filed in our filing system by client. That does get archived after 7 years, and then we have the digital trail as well that goes on forever.
We had a good question. What do I need to keep from a bookkeeping perspective, and what does my bookkeeper need?
Didn't I just say? Okay, for 7 years, keep all of everything. Just keep it. Just put it somewhere, put a date on it and a client code and keep it. And then, so 7 years is your, and just talk to your accountant, but basically that's a good rule of thumb. Digital copies, again, archive them, throw them into the Google Drive, throw it on a backup thingy, I don't know. I don't think you should ever get rid of some record of what you've done, right? Also, we've had clients have water damage, a fire, etc., and they need to circle back and get those receipts. We can provide that because we have all that. Otherwise I think it's an accountant question on what level and what detail and all of that.
Yeah. Sarah, were there any expediting tips that you think are an important part of your process that you want to share, or just anything that you do with expediting that's just key to that part of your job?
We like to, as someone who doesn't have a design background, having someone check over your proposals before you place orders.
So smart. Proposal, order, invoice, it's all threaded together in Studio. It's really important. I was just describing the packet that I check through and want to see everything together. That doesn't have to be me. That can be the other lead designer checking for the other lead designer. That can be Sarah Harris checking with a designer. We just make sure that there's two sets of eyes, because so often you're so deep in it that you can't see the forest for the trees. The project inside and out. You're so clear, and sometimes another set of eyes saying, I see sink, but in the drawing it looks like there's two. Is that supposed to be two? Oh, yes, two. Okay. Because you're just going sink, faucet, the medicine cabinet, tile. So second set of eyes is huge. That would be a great thing to outsource if you're a one-woman show too, to have just a consultant, a freelancer, just look this over because it's new to them, and they'd be looking at the details instead of oh, I know it's this. And then I think the other big thing is really our vendors get into the rhythm of knowing that they're going to hear from us about every 2 weeks, right? So for us, we have 2 lead designers, and Sarah Harris is kind of the expediting queen. But right now, the lead designers are doing a ton of expediting, but really important and efficient is to commingle all of the follow-ups together so that there's one phone call to WindowWorks, one of our favorite vendors, our window treatment showroom, and we talk to Adriana there, and we get the status on everything going on at House of Funk. poor girl, she doesn't need 2 phone calls from 2 different designers at House of Funk following up on projects. Like, we can put all that together and have one phone call, email, whatever it is. Similarly, we work with a general contractor over and over again. Just had a meeting with him today, Bill from Classics Reborn. And we, instead of bothering him, we send one email every Monday from the whole team. Everybody who has a bill follow-up thing puts their stuff in, they run it by me, and out it goes. So when you can put it together and batch it, your vendors will appreciate it, right? Because they're not hearing from 3 different people in your office and what project is that and what, who, where. Put it all together, get a system. Be efficient. That's the overriding theme.
Yeah. And on that note,
Yes.
let's invite our friends, our designers to come join our tribe.
Yes.
Let's tell them where they can find us.
So, if you're a designer and you are trying to get your stuff together, as they say, we are talking about efficiency and procedures and process and interior design business and all of those things that make it run smooth and make it a fun, enjoyable experience and not a grind. Okay, so find us at houseoffunk/trade. Jump on the newsletter list. We will tell you when we're doing great things like design tips, speaking engagements. Every month we have different focus. So we're talking about expediting this month. We spoke about admin. We'll talk about design fees. We'll talk about what needs to be in your design agreement. Juicy, deep. I'm so happy to share, willing to give you everything that I've learned in my 20 years in this industry. Jump on that newsletter list and you will know where to find me.
Absolutely. All right.
I think that's it.
Cheers.
Drink wine. Do great design. I'm Sandra Funk. This is Design Sips. Check us out at houseoffunk.com/trade and I will see you at a Wednesday soon. Cheers.